Hi, thank you for speaking with me.
Hi, thank you. Nice to
Okay.
be here.
Yeah. Do you want to start by introducing yourself and tell us what you do?
My name is Tundup Nurbu, and I'm known by the name Cheetha. And I'm an elected representative of Ladakh Autonomous Development Council, and I'm the president of Leh Youth Congress. It's been like 4 to 5 years I'm in politics, and being on a responsible seat itself is a very big challenge because in a way I'm representing Ladakh largest constituency and I'm the youngest member. And just for the information, I got a criminal case for being too young at this Ladakh Autonomous Development Council. So,
Okay. So let's just go back a little bit, and why don't you tell me what was childhood like? What was growing up like?
I mean, my family is serving in Indian Army from last 3 generations. So it's a very, my family is a very humble family, very middle class. I'm a middle class boy. So my childhood, like, is I'm the very notorious guy in my class, and among my friends, I used to be the notorious one. But somehow I came in a course with the International Fellowship of Buddhist Youth, where they completely transformed my way of thinking, way of looking things at, and there I got a chance to differentiate between your purpose and your aim. So I do not have any aim in my life, but my purpose was very clear. Like, I always used to be the one who work for society. Basically, I want to be a social worker. So being a politician was never in my mind, and I don't know. Life took me into this, and I'm very quite happy. So childhood is I completed my high school from Leh itself, and I've been to Jammu to complete my high secondary. Then I tried to pursue my graduation in different subjects from different university. So I was pursuing my graduation from 3 different university, but I left all of them, and I'm not a graduate. So,
Yeah, you said you were interested in social impact and you wanted to be a social worker. So how did politics happen?
actually, when I was working with this NGO, like many of the political party do approach me to be part of their party and all that, but I was never into this political thing. But somehow, Indian National Congress, they offer me a part-time job. Like, I have to be in office for a couple of hours to manage all the documents, things, and arranging tea and all that. Basically, I'm a clerk in the Indian National Congress office. Then on a day, 26th January, every party got an invitation later, and fortunately, at that on that day, the youth president was not in Ladakh. So on his behalf, I got the opportunity to attend the 26th January in a VIP places. So there I listened to one of the politicians. I wouldn't mention his name and all that, but I saw him speaking for 45 minutes, and for 40 minutes he was completely manipulating people. He was giving wrong information, and he was completely giving this rhetoric talk and all that. But people were appreciating it. They are clapping it and all that. Then I was like, what is happening? One person is manipulating. He seems to be corrupt, but still people are appreciating. Not because he talked well, but people were appreciating because he seems to be honest. He was portraying himself to be coming from a very poor family and all that. So people were appreciating because he got a very nice command on the colloquial dialect. So, but that shouldn't be happen. In the name of rhetoric talk, he was looting. So I decided to be politician on that day by listening to a corrupted and manipulated politician. So then my journey starts from 2020, and that's is one of the basic reason why I'm into politics. Then eventually, yeah, the idea changed. Then I been to many of the states. I been to many political courses like Indian School of Democracy and other organizations. So these organizations helped me to comprehend more about principal politics. You know, the way of looking to it was completely different. So initially it was, yes, obviously a grudge for me to be in this, but eventually it let me comprehend more about how to develop a society, how to create a harmonious society, how to work for youth, or how to work with a youth-oriented project and all that. So yes, this is what my political journey is.
Okay, so you said you're the youngest member of Ladakh Autonomous Council, right? So, though India has the highest youth population in the world, and 65% of our population is under 35, we don't see young people in positions of power. We still see people in their 60s and 70s making all our decisions. So, why do you think it's important for young people to represent our needs and be in parliament, in assemblies to sort of make laws for us? Like, why do you think it's important for young people to engage in democracy?
I mean, I won't say it is important only for the young people, but I must say that whosoever in politics, he must make himself capable of representing everyone. Like I've seen many young leaders who is doing a lot of mistakes, who is doing a lot of disaster to the society, and I've seen a lot of aged people, aged politicians who are doing well for youth, women, every classes of the society. So I personally feel whoever we elect, he must be uh, do his duty with an open mindset. If he's giving time to women, he must give the equal time to youth. He must give equal time to the older citizen of the country. You know, I mean, in a way, in a nutshell, I would say he should know how to represent all the sectors of the society. If a politician is this much mature that he know how to represent people, age doesn't matter at all. You know. So I won't say it is only important for young people to join politics, but more than that, it is important for mature people to join politics. And I would suggest like organizations like Indian School of Democracy or any other organization who are into this kind of activities where you are educating politicians to be a good politician.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing that I personally feel for strengthen the Indian democracy.
Yeah. You said you started your political journey in 2020, so that was also a very challenging time for the world dealing with the pandemic. And you also comes from a region which often is very tumultuous when it comes to the politics of Jammu and Kashmir. So, what were maybe some of the challenges that you faced in your initial years?
Well, in initial years, I mean, the biggest challenge is to your identical crisis. You have to prove that you are capable of something, right? So to prove that, yes, it was an biggest challenge for me. But I would say I took every challenge, every struggle as a learning stage for me. So I never suffered during these challenges. And during COVID time, I was the only person in my district in initial days where I was distributing medicines and providing needed facilities to the patients and all that within our district. I was traveling from China border to Pakistan border to deliver medicine. After a week, many people joined me, like one of them was a very popular singer. There are people who are like Veer, awarded with the Veer Chakra and all that. So I was able to manage a small group of team where we are distributing medicines to every nook and corner of Ladakh. So that moment, that period, that time was I was able to capitalize it, and people, I made a perception that that to feel people that this man can represent us. So I was able to make an identity during this COVID time. I mean, it was for the world, but yeah, at the same time, it was blessing in disguise for me.
Yeah, you got a chance to prove yourself.
So I got a chance to prove myself. Then to be honest, in my constituency, the hold of BJP government was too strong, and to break it, it was not an easy task for me. And that was one of the reasons that many people were not competing to get a mandate from Congress party to this constituency. So I got the mandate very easily. And when I got the mandate, I went on a bike tour. Just keep on thinking, what should I do? I was recollecting all the information that I've learned through ages, during my school, colleges, and all that. So one thing I was remembering, like I was a commerce student, right? So during my high school, I got to understand about the management thing.
Yeah.
So in a very short line, it was like management means managing men tactfully. So for whole 5 days, I was on bike. I was leading a bike group, and while riding the bike, I was keep on thinking how to manage these people, how to manage these people, how to manage these people. So within this 5 days, I met my manifesto. I met my roadmap to manage people and the voters and all that. Though I was very new to the party. So yeah, that 5 days were quite enough to plan things strategically, and it took me 20 days to build my everything. Though I came from a humble family, so financially I was not so empowered like my opponent does. But apart from managing people, mobilizing people, putting ideas in front of people was my real assets. So I spent near about 60 to 70,000 in that election, and my party gave me like 2 lakh. So it was like almost I spent 3 lakh rupees in the election campaign and all that, and I was able to make it a win. So pulling a seat in such amount is itself a big achievement for me. Though I've heard from many people like my opponent was spending 20, 30 lakhs to win that seat, but apart from that, every time money do not work. But yes, it does sometimes, but money is not the actual thing that makes you win. That's the biggest thing that I've understood, realized from my own campaign.
Yeah. So I think a lot of young people are sort of passionate about politics, but they are too disillusioned by Indian politics right now. They think that if they don't have the money, they don't have the backing of a political family, they'll not be able to make it. So what would be your advice to passionate young people, women out there who are scared to make that, headway into politics?
I would say India is a very diverse country, and from state to state, the political culture is completely different. In South, it's a different culture. In Northeast, it's different culture. In North itself, it's a very different culture. But I would say if you want to be a politician, do everything what makes you feel right.
Yeah.
And from the people perspective, you should go beyond right and wrong.
Yeah.
And if you stick to very limited ideas that this is right and this thing only can be right thing, that's the biggest obstacle for our emerging politician.
Yeah.
And politics, either way, in a way, it is all about dealing with public emotion. So when you are dealing with public emotion, be you are empowering them, be you are manipulating them, you have to be emotionally strong. That's the very basic need to be a politician. Once you came up with such qualities, I don't think so money make a big difference. Yes, it is important. Money is also important. Your relatives is also important. Your social identity is also important. But if you think money is the only problem which which is an obstacle for you to be into politics, that's completely a big dilemma. It's a big misunderstanding that you are keeping with you. So money is not the big thing. Money is not the actual thing to make you win. The ultimate thing is your idea, how strong you are emotionally, and how innovate you are. So this is the basic thing which I feel these are the a politician must fulfill it.
Yeah.
The basic criteria to be a politician. So yes, money does plays a important role, but money is not the only thing that you make you.
Okay, perfect. So at Indian School of Democracy, we talk about nurturing principled politicians, right? And you have been a part of our programs. So do you want to share briefly about, why was your journey and your association with Indian School of Democracy so special and important? What did you learn? And over here, we not just give you skills, but we also talk so much about mental well-being and a community. So yeah, do you want to share your journey?
Well, I was part of Democracy Express 2020. When I arrived in Kolkata, I saw many of the people over there who want to be a politician, aspiring politician. Some of them want to be MLA, some of them want to be BDC, some of them want to be Sarpanch. All of them want to participate in an electoral politics, and everybody came there with a question: how to win an election. So I was there. I won the election. So so what they are teaching me, I'm a bit curious. But my main idea of being in this Democracy Express is to educate myself about Indian politics. If I hold too much information about politics, policies, if I know how to make good policies on a grassroots level, I can become a good asset for my society. So when I arrived in Kolkata, there are a lot of people with different perspectives, different aspirations and all that, right? So I got to learn a lot of things about our country. I've interacted with the people who belongs to very deprived social caste, scheduled caste people. I've met with OBCs people, I've met with scheduled tribe people, though I'm also a scheduled tribe person. So understanding their perspective about development, politics, but I got a lot of ideas. And when I got a lot of ideas, I tried to execute in my own way, in my own capability back in Ladakh. So I was able to initiate a lot of good things in my place, and I'm very proud of that. And Indian School of Democracy, when they give an idea, suppose they keep on telling us the importance of youth. So it keeps striking in my mind that what should I do for the youth and all that. So interacting with many politicians, I got to understand if you want to empower youth, youth-oriented infrastructure should be developed in your constituency. So in 2021 capex budget, I invested almost 80% of my fund in developing youth-oriented infrastructure. So right now, in my constituency, I have a cricket stadium. I'm in process. I have a first ever indoor stadium for archery. I'm the first ever futsal stadium in my constituency, which is almost 80% complete. And I have another football stadium in one of my villages in my constituency. So what I'm trying to say is, when you realize the importance of youth, the importance of investing in youth-oriented infrastructure, then obviously if 10 people says this is important, then you also start thinking about it. Yes, we should do something on it. So when we're back in Ladakh, I started investing all the things into youth-oriented infrastructure.
Yeah.
Right now. So I'm again here for another leadership course. Maybe I learned something new, and way back to Ladakh, I'll try to implement in my constituency, because for 2 more years I'm on this seat, and if the people re-elect me again, so this information, this knowledge, this interaction, this experience, I'll use it for the welfare of my people, to make a constructive society over there.
Yeah. It is so inspiring to hear that even despite being an elected representative, you keep, learning constantly and taking these learnings back to your constituency and your people and implementing it. I think I loved hearing what all you've done with the youth infrastructure. Lastly, do you want to maybe share what your, dream or your vision for Indian democracy is like? Maybe 20 years from now, what would your dream for the Indian democracy look like?
That I cannot predict, what will happen after 20 years.
How would
But,
you like to visualize
yes,
it in an ideal world?
I mean, things which is happening now, I got a criminal case for being young to be too young for the member of NSTC, and I got a criminal case, and they have hired 4 Supreme Court lawyers by just saying that my Aadhaar card and Facebook age is not matching.
Okay.
So if such things happen in our country, this is something which is very negative. I would love to see my country after 20 years or within next 2 days or forever, right? You are free to speak. If you feel pain, if any disaster happened to you, there is a hospital where money should not be your obstacle for your treatment. There should be a space if you do not have money. Still, there should be a place where you can give education to your children and all that, which we are having from last 70 years. I think my whole life investment or effort is to protect such idea in this country. And if it is protected, we will live happily ever in this country. But the moment it is destroyed, the concept of diversity, the concept of democracy, if it is not there, then it doesn't matter for me whether you are being India or you are in China or even Pakistan. What makes us different is the 6 fundamental rights, and that should be kept by every politician, no matter from which party you belong. But this 6 fundamental rights you should maintain, preserve in our country for the betterment of this great nation.
Okay, thank you. That is a very inspiring note you're leaving us with. Thank you for chatting with me.
Thank you.
Want your leaders to be good politicians? Want more women as political leaders in India? Want a diverse and equitable democracy? Then crowdfund democracy. Donate to Indian School of Democracy to transform Indian politics.